Welcome to the Wise podcast, hosted by me, Kate Conway, and kindly sponsored by ID Verde. They are the UK and Europe's leading provider of grounds maintenance services and landscape creation projects. They actively engage with social enterprises to build them into their supply chain. Today, I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Nigel Hampton from IncredABLE. So Nigel, I am going to go ahead with the interview, even though you did not bring me the chocolate lollies that I was promised from IncredABLE.
Next time, Kate, next time.
Well, you said you would post them.
Well, yes. We have a new e-commerce website launching soon, so you'll be actually able to go online and
buy my
purchase them.
So tell us a bit about IncredABLE.
So IncredABLE is a social enterprise and charity based in the Southern Trust area that work with children and adults with a learning disability and autism across the Southern Trust area. We have a range with kind of two distinct divisions. Our care, our Respite division, where we would offer residential weekends, youth clubs, daytime activities for children. We also have individual support for adults and children with a learning disability. And then we have what we would refer to as our trading or social enterprise operations, where we have two cafes, one in the Jethro Centre in Lurgan, and recently opened in November, Cafe IncredABLE at South Lake in the new flagship leisure centre in IncredABLE.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's amazing build. We were very fortunate to win that tender. It was a really big achievement for the organisation, and it is, it has been quite a challenge opening any hospitality provision in the midst of a pandemic.
Right now.
But we have been very fortunate to work with the council. It's also hosting a vaccination centre currently as well, so there's a lot of footfall there. There's a lot of people use the lakes for recreational purposes as well. So being open for takeaway the last number of months, there has been a lot of footfall, and as the restrictions continue to ease, then we are looking forward to getting more general users back to the centre who are there for sport and recreational purposes.
Yeah, rather than just the vaccine. Yes,
Yeah.
because I was there for vaccine a couple of weeks ago, and then 3 months before that. And I hadn't realised then that the cafe was there. So would you go back round and in the main doors?
Yes,
rather
so
than...
it's in the heart of the building. So as soon as you go into the building, you can't miss it. And there is... I think, as I was saying, it's not just a leisure centre. There's water sports centre there. So if you go there, particularly at weekends at the moment, if it's good weather, there's a lot of people out paddleboarding and canoeing on the lake, and the council have also plans to put a giant inflatable on the lake as well. So there'll be a lot of people there for groups and organisations there for team building and away days, and corporates are doing the same thing as well.
And so is this... So people can go and get, is it a full meal service, or is it sort of sausage rolls and sandwiches?
Yeah, so there is, there's a grab and go fridge, and so there's a range of food for takeaway presently. So and then you can get, there's salad boxes made up, and there's other food available that changes. Parts of the menu change daily as well, so there's daily specials. And then there's a variety of hot drinks, snacks and tray bakes and things like that there.
Okay, and is that a similar provision in Jethro?
Yes.
So how many staff do you have then in the South Lakes?
So there's currently 15 staff in South Lake, and then across the organisation in total we actually have 65 staff presently.
Okay, and tell me about the people that work there. What are they like?
Where to start with a question like that? We have a really dynamic team, Kate. We've had success recently, both in relation to Social Enterprise Awards back in 2019 and the CO3 Awards last year. And I suppose at both those events, I have recognised that it's the team achievement and the skills and attributes that our team bring to the table. They are very much live our values and want to support our beneficiaries, people with learning disability and autism. And that's what we're about ultimately, is creating those meaningful opportunities. So we're very fortunate to have the people, or I'm very fortunate to have the people around me that I have, and they all are tremendous. I refer to them as incredible people.
Yeah.
And I think that's not an understatement.
And what's the sort of age profile of the adults that you work with?
So we work for anything from 18 right up to some individuals that we're working with would be in their 70s as well. So
Okay.
we have a very diverse age range, and but what we try and do is segregate that down, and that if we're doing a residential, that you're not mixing a vast ages, that you have individuals. You wouldn't have teenagers and people in their 70s on the same residential.
Oh, when you're talking about the respite
yes, and the
side of it.
yeah.
Actually, let's talk about that now then,
Okay.
because obviously that's quite different from the employment
Yeah.
side of it. Tell me about the respite and the holidays.
Okay, so that's basically where groups of, there were larger groups pre-pandemic. We would have typically had a group of 10 individuals go away on a Friday evening through to a Sunday to various different residential centres throughout Northern Ireland, 2 of which we own as an organisation ourselves, one in the Mournes and one outside Armagh. But those are typically hostel type accommodation or private B&Bs, where the group go and really spend time with their peers together and do a range of activities together. So again, if they're in Newcastle, it could be as simple as just going down to Maud's for ice cream in Newcastle, or it could be doing something down at Castlewellan Lake, or some of the outdoor activities. Or it really just depends. So those venues are dotted throughout Northern Ireland. So depending on where they are, it depends very much on what activities individuals do. So it could be anything from cinema to horse riding to whatever. And that's, it gives individuals a meaningful break, and it gives parents and carers that opportunity for respite.
And so in terms of holidays, though, I know you do some abroad as well.
Yes.
It's not just all Northern Ireland.
No, in the past we've facilitated groups to go to London, to Paris, to Barcelona, to Blackpool. There's been a wide range of holiday opportunities. So that's where individuals come together and want to go again for a break away with their peers and take in the sights and of those locations. So,
and sometimes it's football matches. And
yes. So we've done both Old Trafford and Anfield as well. So again, that has been.
Do you support either of those teams?
I'm
Is this
not
a wee bit biased?
No, I'm not a football fan at all. It's not to put me in the hills in the Mournes or somewhere like that.
Oh, you'd rather.
Yeah.
And you do have other. So you've got the sort of the self-generated income.
Yes.
So obviously, you've got the cafes and whatever, but also you had mentioned, and this was why I was so demanding at the start of the interview, about chocolate lollies, that you sort of also have a production line of that.
Yes, so we've what we refer to as a range of micro enterprise initiatives, and those are growing and have been continuing to grow. So it's basically where individuals with a learning disability and autism are engaged in making different products for sale. So we have a chocolate lollipop range, and again we are able to print. There's edible ink that you can print different logos and things like that there, and that has been very successful. So I think, as I mentioned, we're about to launch our own e-commerce platform in the next number of months, where people will be able to go online and purchase the.
Oh, so you could buy these in bulk then.
Yes.
If I had a business and I wanted to kind of make these to sell, or wedding favour.
Yes, so that's and it's one of the markets that one of our staff was again pre-pandemic was actually attending wedding fairs and things like that there, and was taking orders for wedding favours and things like that there, where people could get personalised information put on the front of their lollipop for their guests and things like that there. So it's something that we're reinvigorating again, and hopefully there will be more sales in that line come along again.
Yeah, it's been difficult for you over
pandemic,
because everything you do kind of depends on either being out and about or...
Yeah, so we've continued to offer respite provision, and we've continued to offer takeaway provision in the cafe throughout the pandemic. It has been certainly challenging for a lot of organisations to think about how we keep both our beneficiaries safe and our staff safe, and then wearing all of the appropriate PPE and putting all of the policies and procedures in place for staff and individuals to follow. But it certainly, as we come out, hopefully as the restrictions continue to ease, we very much look forward to getting things back to where they were before, and it certainly is, I think, not a year that any of us want to repeat.
No, please, no. Definitely not. It's been quite difficult for you by the sound of things. So in terms of moving forward or kind of enhancing what you're doing now, once you're ready to kind of get going, what kind of companies and even individuals are you hoping to connect with? So obviously you're going to have the new website will launch with the e-commerce.
Yep.
What else could people buy on that?
So, well, again, there is different products in development. So they're actually, one of the products that are in development at the moment is s'more kits and things like that there for people to buy. And these are all produced and packaged by individuals with learning disability. What we're also working with is a range of other local businesses. So some of the individuals have been packaging up flies for fly fishing.
Right.
So where we've been working with a local business who creates these flies, and we have been actually packaging them up and presenting them and for them. So there's little opportunities for sales like that. I suppose in relation to the cafes and things like that, there, what we would say is anyone within the greater ABC area come and shop or come and purchase in our cafes, come to Jethro, Cafe IncredABLE Jethro or Cafe IncredABLE South Lake. Both of those venues have bookable rooms in them. So again, as the restrictions continue to ease and we perhaps are not doing our social distancing is becoming more relaxed, people can host events and seminars and things in those locations. Again, both the venues have bookable rooms for birthday parties and things like that there. So again, that's another market that we see us getting more traction in, where we would be supplying the food or party food to those individuals or those children and
so it's good families. For meetings, parties, away days, conferences, things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I suppose it depends how many people you can have in the room. Depends on but you're talking like pre-pandemic, how many people would have fit in these rooms?
Well, I suppose in Jethro, both the buildings are different. Jethro has a large sports hall which could easily have we've catered for conferences of 300 people.
Oh, okay.
Whereas there's other smaller rooms that are host 10 to 15 people, or some of the rooms would, again, it varies. So some of the rooms would, depend on your group size, but 300 being the largest and 10 to 15 being kind of the smallest.
And there's parking, obviously. I've been to South Lakes. There's acres of parking there. What about Jethro? Same?
Yes, the same. There's tons of parking there.
Okay.
And again, I should plug, Jethro is very popular with mothers, because there's a kids play area in the corner. So it's not a pokey cafe. It's very spacious, and again you have good sight lines to the kids corner and stuff like that there, so you can have a relaxed, knowing that you keeping an eye on your child and
they'll be entertained.
Yes,
and you can have a bit of a relax, but you can still see them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And is there anybody else, any like sort of companies or anything that you're keen to kind of link up with?
Well, I suppose one of the just we have provided hospitality for companies in the past as well, outside hospitality from both the locations. So again, if companies had that need for hospitality in their own premises, we can supply that. And I suppose we're always very customer focused. So one of the things that we've developed actually at South Lake recently is picnic boxes. So people can come and take a picnic box and go, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of people that use the lakes for recreational purposes. So you can come and buy your picnic box and go off around the lakes. And we've actually had a request last month for picnic boxes for a wedding reception. So
Right.
where people are giving picnic boxes to their guests between the ceremony and the reception afterwards. So
They're going to be well fed at that,
exactly,
at that wedding,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
But so, Nigel, you've been there since when?
2003, Kate, so going on for 18 years
So
now.
just from you were about 5, by the looks of it. What's kept you there so long? Why?
I suppose that, well, the role has changed enormously from when I first come into, there's been a lot of growth in the organisation in that period of time. We've also grown, not just, there's been a lot of growth and development, there's been a lot of new opportunities, and I suppose I always I'm very much wanting to continue to grow and build the organisation and to have more impact and reach more people through the projects and services that we're offering. And that very much inspires me to get up in the mornings. I feel there's still a dearth of need for individuals with learning disability and autism in the Southern Trust area, and we will continue to develop more projects and services that support those individuals and families. It's something that I enjoy, and I think I've still more to give in terms of where I want to take the organisation.
Yeah. So you feel that the impact is significant on the families and.
Yes, very much so. I would very much, be in regular contact with families, and we know what again, different projects and services mean different things, or give of different value to different individuals. So some people want that weekend away, whereas others want to see their son or daughter well engaged in meaningful daytime activity. It is something that we will continue to build and want, just recognising the impact that has and what it means to those families.
Well, I suppose when you're giving the families a chance to see that family member socialise and work and do all the things that you just would have taken for granted with maybe their siblings or whatever. So I suppose that just means everything to them.
Yeah. No, well, we get a lot of feedback from families, and even after we would have regular evaluations with families, and that it's very heartening to hear the feedback that you get and what impact that does mean to those families. And sometimes, particularly when I actually recall there was one parent who was saying that their daughter was going through a particularly challenging time, and they were as a family, and that they were just so grateful for the opportunity for their daughter to participate in one of our programs, because it just meant that it kept them sane as a family, and it just meant the world to them. So when you get little snippets of feedback from that, it as I said, it makes you feel warm inside, and that you're doing a good job, and that you want to continue to do more for other families and individuals.
So that's probably what keeps you going. I'd say it takes moments like that, doesn't it, whenever because you've had a frustrating time over the last year, and I'm not just in any organisation there's frustrations, but just kind of you need to sort of focus on those moments and go, well, that's why I do this.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, no, very much so, and that's where we as I said, there's still, we've got to a stage in terms of our growth and development as an organisation, but there's still more that we want to do. we're always looking on the horizon and where there is opportunities for us to do other things and have impact and reach people and support them.
So if people want to connect with you, we've got the new website. Is it started yet? So is it on?
No, it's not. It's not live yet. So it's in development.
Okay.
So it will be with a timeline of the end of June to have that live.
Okay. So but people can find you on what's the web address?
So our current web address is incredible.org.uk.
Okay. But also they can just walk through the door in Jethro and
Southlake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
Tune in next week when we'll be chatting to Alita Frid from Science Stars. Thanks again to Nigel Hampton from IncredABLE and also to ID Verde, our sponsor. If you're a social enterprise and you'd like to find out more about opportunities to work with ID Verde, please contact Amanda at Social Enterprise NI.